And so let's just say this scenario happened. So seller and buyer are in a contract. All conditions have been removed. So essentially the house is sold and now we're just waiting on the possession day. So the money to transfer all of that. And one of the two parties ends up getting ill with the COVID virus. What could happen in that scenario?
It shouldn't. So let me talk about the purchaser firstly.
Okay.
So a purchaser, if they were to get ill and they were unable to come into a meeting, they're self-isolating at home, let's say, we can still meet with them. The rules have been changed during COVID to allow lawyers to meet with clients remotely by video conference, Zoom or FaceTime or WhatsApp or any of those platforms, Skype.
Okay.
We can still meet with clients remotely, and they sign the documents in the safety of their home. And we just need the original documents delivered to us either by courier or by dropping it off at our office sometime before the closing day. So the land title's office still requires original documents.
Oh, okay.
So that's the only hiccup, is they need to arrange for somebody to deliver the documents.
So no electronic signing, it has to be.
Beg your pardon?
No electronic signing, no DocuSign, nothing like
Yes,
that.
unfortunately, legally for real estate transactions, land titles does not accept electronic signing of documents yet. So the lawyers are witnessing the signing of the document and then using that original document that gets delivered to them to complete. Now let me move on to and then the same would apply for a seller. A seller would be signing the transfer of land and other closing documents to transfer property. If the person was so ill, though, that they are unable to sign, then that would be a significant problem. So if they were a buyer and they were in hospital, let's say, so ill that they can't sign the documents, but they have a binding contract, that would create a problem for the buyer, because normally the lender's requirements are that financing documents cannot be signed by an attorney.
Okay.
They have to be signed personally.
Okay.
So that would potentially be a problem. So for buyers, I would definitely recommend that if it's a long period of time between the time that they make an offer and the closing day, that there be specific terms included in the contract that allow them to deal with the situation if they were to get ill and they were to be hospitalized.
Okay.
So some sort of clause built in there that allows an extension to be.
Okay.
If it's a short closing and there's no likelihood of them really getting sick, because COVID appears to take a bit of time to make people really ill, so they have to be hospitalized. But if it's a short period of time to closing, it may not be necessary to have that sort of clause in place.
Okay.
For a seller, they would be able to use an attorney. If they have an enduring power of attorney, which I recommend that everybody have in place, a properly drawn up enduring power of attorney would allow an attorney to sign sale documents on their behalf.
Ah, okay.
So it's only the buyer signing financing documents that it could potentially be an issue for, but not necessarily for a seller.
Okay. Okay.
So what if the purchaser or seller, I guess, is not sick, but they're concerned about the exposure? Like how do you guys go about that? It's probably the same.
Yeah, so the exposure, most law firms are following the Alberta Health Services recommendations on social distancing. So you can have the meeting by video conference like we've discussed.
Right.
Or the other option is for people to be in the safety of their motor vehicle, and they could sign documents while the lawyer stood at a distance and witnessed
Oh, wow.
them sign. So a lot of law firms are actually doing that, where people are coming, sitting in their motor vehicle, signing the documents. The lawyer witnesses the signing of the documents from a distance.
Yeah.
And then the documents either get handed to the lawyer through the window, or they delivered through the drop. Most lawyers would have a drop box where you could drop off the signing documents.
Okay.
So that way, people are protected because they don't have to get exposed to the virus necessarily by going into a meeting and having to meet face to face with a receptionist and other people in the waiting room, and then a lawyer potentially in a meeting room.
Yeah. So scenario for you then. So we have a completed transaction and there is a delay. So let's say Mara wrote a deal and she did put in place a clause or a term in the contract that stated what would happen if one of the parties is unable to sign. Then potentially we would have, let's say, a 20-day ability to extend the closing. But let's just say that the seller has bought another property and they needed that money to close that deal, and there was no clause on that deal regarding late closing. How would that get handled? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. So I would recommend that all sellers who are relying on funds from another transaction to get interim financing or bridge financing in place to assist them, or they could talk with you, the realtors, to schedule the closings of the two transactions in such a way that they can be certain that the sale that they're relying on the money from closes before their purchase takes place. Mm-hmm. So there are two ways that you could approach that. Is you could schedule the closings so that there was a delay. The closing of the sale would happen first, the money would be available, and then the purchase could happen after that. That's possible, or bridge financing is the other option.
Okay.